Ahlan wa sahlan, and welcome to Learn Arabic with Laura. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to conjugate present tense verbs. The present tense in Arabic is used to convey two different meanings: a habitual action like I go to school, or an ongoing action such as I am studying. The exact sense is usually clear from context. When you look up a verb in the dictionary, you will be given the past and present tense of the verb in the third person masculine. From the third person masculine, you will be able to apply rules of conjugation of the verb. Verbs are conjugated by adding prefixes and suffixes to the beginning and the end of the verb root, depending on the conjugation. In this lesson, we cover how to conjugate Form 1 regular verbs, the most basic verb in Arabic. Let's look at a simple example. Yadrusu, or he studies. If we want to say I study, we add an aleph at the beginning and a dhamma at the end, and it becomes edrusu, edrusu. To say you study, referring to a male, we say enta tedrusu, tedrusu. So we add a ta at the beginning of the word and a dhamma at the end. When we're talking about a female, if we want to say you study, we say enti tedrusina, enti tedrusina. We add a ta at the beginning of the verb and a ya, a noon, and a feta at the end of the verb. He studies is huwa yadrusu. So we add a ya at the beginning of the verb and a dhamma at the end of the verb. Huwa yadrusu. If we want to say she studies, we say hiya tedrusu, hiya tedrusu. We add a ta at the beginning of the verb and a dhamma at the end. And you'll notice that she studies and you study are the same. So the only way you're going to know if it's referring to you study, male, or she studies, female, is by the context. If we want to say we study, we say nahnu nedrusu, nahnu nedrusu. So we add a noon at the beginning of the root and a dhamma at the end. To say you study, plural, we say entum tedrusuna, entum tedrusuna. We add a ta at the beginning of the root, a waw, a noon, and a feta at the end of the word. If we want to say you study for a female, we say entunna tedrusna, entunna tedrusna. We add a ta at the beginning of the verb, a noon, and a feta at the end of the verb. If we want to say they study, we say hum yadrusuna, hum yadrusuna. We add a ya at the beginning of the verb, a waw, a noon, and a feta at the end of the word. And if we want to say they study for a group of females, we say hunna yadrusna, hunna yadrusna. We add a ya at the beginning of the verb and a noon and a feta at the end of the verb. Let's just review the prefixes that we've just learned. For ana, we add aleph to the beginning of the verb. Enta, we add ta. Enti, ta, but remember with a ya, a noon, and a feta at the end. Huwa, we add ya. Hiya, we add ta. Nahnu, we add na, a noon. Entum, we add ta at the beginning, and tunna, also ta at the beginning. Home, we add a ya, and hunna, we add a ya. I would like you to practice the following verbs. Please conjugate them in all of the persons that we just learned. The verbs are darasa, which means he studied, fahama, he understood, kataba, he wrote, arafa, he knew, qara'a, he read, dhahaba, he went, takallama, he spoke.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.